Hey, Community Church, and anybody else that might be joining us out on the internet today, I'm glad you're here. And today I want to take a moment to share with you a little bit about just what the Bible says about how we make progress and moving forward. Because I know right now a lot of people are in a place where progress doesn't seem like an option. It feels like we're stuck and we're not going anywhere. But I think it's really important for us to remember that God is at work and He is in us and He is moving, and it's really easy for us to feel stagnant. For those of you that have younger siblings or parents out there that have kids, you know, watching a kid take their first steps is a huge, joyous occasion, but it's also kind of funny looking, right? You have these kids stumbling, walking, trying to figure out what in the world, how do I move this foot? How do I put it to where it's going to support my weight? How do I make sure I am not going to just completely fall afterwards? And the reality of it is sometimes kids do. And it's really important for us to know that amidst this season, we're still called to make progress. We're not okay, you get a free pass, you don't have to get anything done, or you don't need to do anything, just sit at home, play nothing but video games, which I'm sure some of you have been guilty of that thus far, but we're past the 1 month point, and I think we need to start looking at, okay, how do I start becoming a better version of myself? Because who we become has a lot to do with who we have been, and we've got a lot at stake right now, just where we have the freedom to move forward, but some of us, if you're guilty like me, we're choosing to, okay, I'm just going to sit tight and wait this out. But I think it's really important for us to know that the baby steps are a critical movement for us to make progress. In order to have a long-term success, we have to have a lot of stuff that goes before it. And I think for those of you that are in the business world, I know successes don't happen overnight. We live in a world where we glorify overnight success, but the reality of it is the majority of successful people have a lot of baby steps behind them, little pieces of progress that they've made over time in order to move forward. It was at least 10 years ago I read a great book. It was a book that isn't typically in my realm of reading. You know, every once in a while you pick up a book that is not stereotypical of what you read. I like to do adventure. I like to do mystery and stuff like this. But this was a book called Stained Glass Hearts. And it was written by a woman who was going through depression. And it was not a long book. It was just very, very simple, very just acknowledging the fact that she, as a broken woman, knew that God was making something out of her and how she operated going through depression. And one of the things that she shared, there was just, it's one of those things, it seems very simple and very okay, that's not hard. And she just shared when she started getting out of a depression, her only goal was to make the bed every day, right? So she would get up in the morning and say, if I'm going to do anything today, I'm going to make the bed, right? And it's one of those okay, how bad off can somebody be if their only goal for the day is to make the bed? I got news for you. Amidst this season, there's some people that probably haven't reached that goal alone, right? But she chose intentionally to take baby steps, and she knew that if she got that one thing done, that she would be able to move forward with her day. She wouldn't want to get back into the bed. She wouldn't want to curl up and just not get anything done for the rest of the day because she had already done that one thing. And for us in this season, there's a scripture in Proverbs that talks about, it says, in his heart a man determines his course, aka we have desires that we want to do. We have things that we want to do. And then it goes on to say, but the Lord determines his steps. And I just want you to think about, what might your baby step be for today? What might be that one thing that maybe you haven't done, even though you know you should? over the last 30 days. And take that one step, because God is just as interested in our process of how we get to where we're going. So it's not only about the destination, it's also about how he desires for us to move forward to get where we're going. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow on Restless.